Welcome back, word nerds. Ready to dive deep into more vocabulary.
Always.
Today we're tackling how to really level up your English vocabulary.
Sounds like a plan.
And we've got a couple of really great sources to guide us.
Oh, yeah.
We've got tips from a masterclass by a language expert.
Yeah.
And then we also have a full guide on vocabulary building.
Nice. So what's the plan for today's deep dive?
Well, let me clarify one thing first.
Yeah.
This isn't about memorizing the entire dictionary.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
Good, because...
It's not about learning every single obscure word.
Yeah, no.
It's more about giving you practical ways to actually learn new words.
Okay.
And use them confidently in your everyday life.
I like it. So it's not about just knowing a ton of words, but how to use them well.
Exactly.
Well, and that's key, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when you have a really strong vocabulary, it affects everything.
How so?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
It influences how you express yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but it also changes how you understand others.
Okay.
And get this.
Yeah.
The Cognitive Science Journal actually found a link
Oh, wow.
between a bigger vocabulary and better critical thinking skills,
Oh, that's interesting.
and even problem solving.
So it's like the more words you know,
Yeah.
the better you can think?
It seems that way.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. It's about more than just sounding smart.
Right.
Though, I mean, that is a nice bonus.
It is a nice bonus.
Yeah.
Now, both of our sources today really emphasize reading.
It always comes back to reading, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, why is reading so important for this, though?
Well, reading is sort of like the bedrock of expanding your vocabulary.
Okay, I can see that.
But why is that? Why is it so good?
Well, I think because when you read it, you're seeing these new words
Yeah.
in their natural environment.
That's a good way to put it. It's context.
Exactly. Context.
Instead of just like seeing a word on a flashcard,
Right, right.
you're seeing it in a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You see how it's used,
Yeah.
and that makes it much more memorable.
It clicks, you know?
It clicks.
Like, you
That
get
clicks.
it. Like you said, that context is so important.
Oh, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you could look at a picture of a lion,
Okay.
or you could actually go on a safari
Right.
and see a lion in person.
It's a totally different experience.
Exactly. And speaking of encountering words,
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare apparently invented like over 1,700 words.
Get out of here.
It's crazy.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, and it just shows you how much one person can influence a language.
That's true.
Now, to bring it back down to, like, us regular folks,
Right.
our sources say it's good to have a variety of reading material.
Okay, yeah, like different genres and stuff.
Yeah, like fiction, nonfiction, magazines. Why is that important?
Because different types of writing use different types of words.
That's true.
Like fiction is going to be full of description, imagery, while nonfiction, you're going to find a lot more technical term.
That makes sense.
And magazines, newspapers keep you up to date on current events and all the words people are using right now.
So there's a lot of value in having a well-rounded reading list.
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Just reading isn't enough.
Oh.
Both sources really emphasize active learning.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's not just absorbing the words. You got to do something with them.
So, like, what are some examples of active learning?
So many.
Yeah.
But one of the best is to actually use the words in conversation.
Oh, that's a good one.
Even if it feels a little weird at first,
Yeah.
the more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
Oh, I've totally tried that before.
Really?
Remember once I tried to slip the word mellifluous into a conversation.
Oh, mellifluous. Nice one.
It means like sweet sounding.
It's like honey.
Exactly.
So what happened?
Well, I was talking to a friend about a singer, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
her voice is so mellifluous.
Mhm.
And they just kind of stared at me blankly
Oh, no.
and asked, is that a good thing?
Ha-ha.
But hey, at least they remember the word, right?
Exactly. That's the goal. Even if it's a little awkward at first.
Yeah, yeah.
It really helps to use the words in real situations.
Makes sense.
Another good strategy is writing.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's journaling or emailing or even writing stories,
Yeah.
it forces you to really think about how to use the words correctly.
So it's not enough to just recognize the words, you have to use them.
Exactly. And speaking of actively engaging with words,
Mm-hmm.
both of our sources talk about the power of play.
Oh, I love word games.
Me too.
I'm a big fan of crossword puzzles and Scrabble.
Classic.
But there's also so many cool word games online now,
So true.
like Wordle and Boggle.
Yep.
And even apps like Quizlet and Anki that are designed to help you learn vocabulary.
I love those. They make it so much fun.
They do. And what I love is that it's not just about memorization. You're problem solving, you're finding patterns.
And you're having fun while you're doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes it so much more effective.
I agree. Now, here's another tip from our sources.
Okay.
One of the most helpful things you can do is learn about word roots, prefixes, and suffixes.
Oh, yeah. Those are like building blocks for words, right?
Exactly. It's like having a secret decoder ring for the English language.
You know what I always think about?
What's that?
The prefix mal, which means bad.
Oh, good one.
Like malicious, malady, malfunction.
All bad news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you understand that prefix,
Yeah.
you automatically understand part of all those words.
You got it. And that's the power of understanding those building blocks.
You can figure out so many words, even if you've never seen them before.
Right. It's like learning the grammar of words.
I love that, the grammar of words. Okay, so we've got reading, active use, word games, and etymology.
Yep, that's a good start.
But here's something else that both of our sources stress.
Okay, what's that?
Even if you know the definition of a word,
Mm-hmm.
you really need to see it in context to fully understand it.
That's true.
Like our sources use the word ambivalent as an example.
Ambivalent, okay.
And they define it as having mixed feelings.
Right, but that's kind of a plain definition.
It is. It doesn't really tell the whole story.
No, it's a little dry.
So they give an example. She felt ambivalent about moving to a new city, excited for the change, but sad to leave her friends.
That makes so much more sense.
Right. It just clicks into place when you see it used in a sentence.
Totally. So the definition is important,
Mhm.
but seeing the word in action is what really brings it to life.
Exactly. Now, speaking of bringing things to life,
Yeah.
our sources also talk about how we can use technology
Oh, yeah.
to make learning vocabulary even more fun and engaging.
Technology is a game changer.
It is. Like, there are all these amazing apps out there.
I know, right?
There's Anki and Quizlet for flashcards.
Those are great for repetition.
There's tons of word of the day apps.
I love those.
So many ways to make it fun and personalized.
It's like having a vocabulary coach in your pocket.
That's a great way to put it. And it can be so motivating, too.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause you can track your progress and see how much you're learning.
Definitely. Now, let's not forget
What?
that even with all these tools and tricks,
Mm-hmm.
vocabulary building is a long game.
A marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. And our sources really emphasize the importance of consistency.
Makes sense.
Like, even if you just learn one new word a day,
Yeah.
that's over 300 new words a year.
Wow, that's actually a lot.
It is. Small steps can make a big difference over time.
I like that. Small steps, big impact.
Yeah.
And you know what else is great?
What's that?
Both of our sources talk about the funny side of learning new words.
Oh, yeah, like when you try to use a fancy word and it backfires.
Exactly. Like, remember that time you tried to use the word cacophony to describe your friend's laugh?
Maybe we should save that story for another time.
Right. Good point. But yeah, it's important to embrace the learning process.
Definitely.
Mistakes and all.
Sometimes the mistakes are the most memorable part.
That's true.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to stumble a bit as you're learning.
Exactly. Have fun with it.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe one day someone will be quoting one of our little vocabulary mishaps.
Now that would be something.
They would.
You know, as we keep exploring this whole vocabulary thing,
Yeah.
I think it's worth pointing out
What's that?
that the journey itself can be just as rewarding as actually learning the words.
Ooh, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. Have you ever come across a word
Mm-hmm.
that just perfectly captures a feeling or an idea
Okay.
that you've been struggling to express?
Yeah, totally.
It's like this amazing aha moment.
Like the light bulb going off.
Exactly.
It's like you finally have the words to describe something you've always felt but couldn't quite articulate.
Right?
And those moments are so powerful.
They are. It's more than just learning a new word.
It's like you're expanding your understanding of the world.
Totally. You're seeing things in a new way.
Almost like getting a new pair of glasses.
Ooh, I like that.
Or like adding new colors to your palette as a painter.
Beautiful analogy. So, yeah, it's not just about memorizing definitions. It's a journey of self-discovery.
And it's a journey that never really ends, right?
Nope.
There are always new words to learn.
Always. The English language is constantly evolving. It's
Yeah.
like this vast ocean of words just waiting to be explored.
Speaking of vast,
Yeah.
I was reading that the average English speaker knows like 20,000 to 35,000 words.
Whoa. Really?
It's crazy, right?
That's a lot of words.
But a catch
Yeah.
is our active vocabulary, the words we actually use regularly,
Right.
it's much smaller.
Makes sense. We tend to stick to the words we're comfortable with.
It's like our linguistic comfort zone.
I love it. Linguistic comfort zone.
Yeah.
But that means we've got this whole treasure trove of words just sitting there, unused.
Dormant. Just waiting to be awakened.
I like that, dormant. Waiting to be brought back to life.
It's like having a garden
Oh.
full of seeds
Mm-hmm.
that have the potential to grow into these amazing plants.
Just a beautiful image.
And we get to choose which seeds to plant,
We do.
which words we want to cultivate and nurture.
And those words can help us grow in so many ways.
They can.
Yeah.
And it's not just about sounding smart.
Right. Right.
It's about expressing ourselves more clearly,
Yeah.
understanding the world around us better.
And connecting with others on a deeper level.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you know what else is cool?
What?
The journey itself can be so much fun.
It can.
Like those aha moments when
Yeah.
you finally find the perfect word.
The best.
It's such a satisfying feeling.
And it's not just about the aha moments.
Yep.
It's about the whole process of discovering new words, playing with language,
Mm-hmm.
experimenting with different ways of expressing yourself.
It's like you're an artist.
I like it.
And
Oh,
words are your paint.
beautiful. And speaking of artists,
Yeah.
our sources reminded us that even Shakespeare
Oh, the bard himself.
didn't just magically know all the words.
Yeah. He had to learn them too.
He did. He's actually credited with inventing over 1,700 words.
It's amazing.
And he didn't just wake up one day knowing them.
It's inspiring to think about.
It is.
Like, we all have the potential to shape and influence language.
Totally.
Yeah.
Every time we use a word in a new way or come up with a new phrase,
Right?
we're adding to this incredible tapestry of human expression.
That's a beautiful way to think about it.
It is, isn't it? It's a collaborative effort that's
Yeah.
been going on for centuries.
And who knows, maybe one day
Yeah.
someone will be quoting our words
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
and marveling at our linguistic genius.
I like the way you think.
But even if we don't become famous for our wordplay,
Right.
the personal benefits of expanding our vocabularies are huge.
Absolutely.
It boosts our confidence, it makes us better communicators,
Yeah.
and it helps us understand the world around us more deeply.
So many benefits.
And let's not forget the pure joy of it all.
The joy.
Finding the perfect word.
Yes.
Expressing yourself with precision and nuance.
It's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
So to everyone listening,
Yes.
embrace the challenge of expanding your vocabulary.
Yeah.
It's a journey that will enrich your life in so many ways.
And remember,
What?
it's not about cramming your brain full of every word in the dictionary.
No.
It's about finding the words that resonate with you,
Mm-hmm.
the words that help you express your unique voice.
I love that.
But find what works for you
Yeah,
and have fun along the way.
absolutely. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from the practical benefits to the pure pleasure of discovering new words.
But before we wrap things up,
Okay.
I want to leave you with one final thought.
I'm all ears.
So we've talked about like using the right word and putting it in context.
Right.
But you know what I've been thinking about?
What's that?
Just the words themselves.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
how they sound.
Yeah.
How they feel when you say them.
It's true. We get so focused on the meaning
Yeah.
that we forget that words have a beauty of their own,
Exactly.
like little pieces of music.
And I think it's something to keep in mind as you're learning new words.
Totally.
Don't just focus on the definition.
Mm-hmm.
Take a moment to really savor the sounds.
Yeah, play with them.
Like roll them around in your mouth.
Totally.
Notice the rhythm and the flow.
I love that. It's like appreciating language as an art form,
Exactly.
not just a way to communicate information,
Right.
but something beautiful in itself.
It is. Like one of my favorite examples
Oh, yeah.
is the word mellifluous.
Oh, mellifluous.
It means sweet sounding, right?
Mhm.
And the word itself just sounds so sweet and smooth.
It does.
It's almost like the sound is imitating the meaning.
I know, right? It's like onomatopoeia,
Exactly.
but for a feeling, not a sound.
That's a great way to put it.
And I think that's what makes language so powerful.
Yeah. It's this combination of sound and meaning that
Yeah.
can evoke all these emotions and images.
It's like a symphony for your ears and your mind.
I love that. And it's
Yeah.
something that we can all appreciate,
Yeah.
whether we're learning new words
Mhm.
or just enjoying the language we already know.
So true. Well, I think that's a perfect note to end on.
It is.
It's been a pleasure exploring all these different facets of vocabulary with you.
Likewise.
We talked about reading, active learning, word games,
Mm-hmm.
even the funny side of making mistakes.
The best part.
And of course,
Yeah,
the inherent beauty of words themselves.
absolutely. So to everyone listening,
Yes.
keep learning, keep exploring, and keep playing with language.
And until next time,
Happy wordsmithing.
happy wordsmithing.